Hey guys, Swifty here. I got some breaking Chicago Bears news today and an update on what else is coming this week. I have a couple other videos I was working on for this week covering Darnell Mooney and Justin Fields' growing rapport, as well as a couple of other surprises. I will have the Darnell Mooney one out by tomorrow, most likely. I wanted to get in front of the news today and let you guys know my thoughts. With that being said, be sure to like the video and let's get into it. Breaking news reported by Dan Wiederer is today's OTA practice has been canceled. According to league sources, the Bears, who had a scheduled OTA today, will not be allowed to have that practice. According to Dan Wiederer, the Bears have violated the offseason rules of the CBA. During their May practices, they had live contact, which is prohibited. This is not great news as we had a live practice get canceled, but it does tell you a bit about Coach Flus. Matt Eberflus is a first-year head coach, and he preaches hard work. He wants the defense swarming to the ball, and he wants guys lighter and quicker. Flus is going to have these guys running. So what do we make of a canceled OTA in early June? To be honest, not much. Yeah, we lost the practice, but my boy John G made this point on Twitter, and I agree completely. Live practice in May is way more valuable than a June OTA practice. A live practice in May allows coaches to evaluate the younger players much more and see what they can do in a live scenario. Most of these guys won't get their first live action until late July, so getting in an early contact practice in May could pay dividends, especially when forming the depth chart and figuring where guys fit in best. There's a lot of moving places all over this roster. It's usually not a great thing to get into habits of breaking NFL protocols. We don't want to get hit with a ton of fines or penalties, but this one was barely a slap on the wrist. I would trade one June OTA for a live contact practice in May anytime, especially with this amount of rookies. This isn't huge news, but it's all over Twitter this morning, and I wanted to give you guys my take. Not only is it good for the rookies and younger players, but it also gives the coaching staff more time to evaluate after getting in a good practice in May. I'm not saying we should praise the Bears or even be happy this happened, but anyone reading it and thinking it is really bad is overreacting a bit. This isn't a big deal. We have more OTAs coming this month, and we are inching closer and closer to training camp. Think about this for a moment. We drafted 11 rookies, plus brought in a ton of undrafted free agents. Not all the undrafted free agents are still around, as we made some roster cuts, but there are still a ton of rookies on this team. On top of that, we have a lot of prove-it type players, like David Moore, Byron Pringle, Dante Pettis, Tajay Sharp, Dakota Dozier, and more on the offense. And then guys like Tavon Young, Nicholas Morrow, Justin Jones, Al-Quadin Muhammad, Dane Cruikshank, and more on the defense. Plus we have brand new head coaches and a new offensive and defensive scheme. So I think having a live contact practice in May could turn out to be good for this team, and the one lost OTA practice shouldn't be a big deal at all. Couple other notes real quick. On top of ESPN ranking the Bears as the worst team in the NFL and saying we have the best shot at the #1 pick, USA Today writers are now jumping on that bandwagon too. It's always funny to me when I read these national stories about the Bears. The writers are legit embarrassing. They don't know anything about the Chicago Bears, and the fact that they get paid to write stories like this from outlets like ESPN and USA Today is almost sad to me. Some of these guys could spend 10 to 15 minutes doing research and make their articles way better, but they won't even put in that 10 to 15 minutes of work. They don't seem to care. This weekend's scouting report video is on Southern guard Ja'Tyre Carter. I love watching this dude's tape. I have a ton of videos coming. I want to apologize as I haven't been dropping videos every day for the last week or so. I needed to catch up on some rest and been a bit busier at work. I still have been putting in some big work on these I've still been putting in some work on some bigger upcoming videos. After my rookie breakdowns are done, I have some big all 22 videos coming out on the current Bears. I'm also working on a weekly show and a Q&A segment for you guys. I will make a post soon and give you guys a chance to ask me any questions you have on your mind. I do my best and try to get to all the comments, but I will do a Q&A video where I answer all of your burning questions going into the season. Stay tuned, guys. Please hit that like button, and until next time, bear down.